Hey guys, welcome back. Just wanted to give you a quick update this evening. I was able to get a little bit of work done on the Goldwing project. If you guys are new here, I appreciate you checking out my channel. My name is Gregory Mack, and I am your host. I'm very happy about the way the new clutch plates went in. I started with a steel plate and then a friction plate until I had 7 of each. I believe it was 7. And all that went together pretty clean, and I got the pressure spring mechanism back on there, and it's all tightened properly. So I feel really good about that. I got the new gasket in place. I'm getting ready to put all the bolts in. And I cleaned on the back of the motor. This is the electronic ignition. Now, I had a 1979 Goldwing many years ago, and it had points ignition, and the points ignition was driven off of the camshaft here. And I remember that being there, and you would have to clean and adjust the points. Well, on this 1983, I don't know when they switched over, but there's a shaft that went straight through there. Must somehow connect to the cams, or the crankshaft, or it rides straight off the crankshaft, I guess. And then that's how, when this is plugged in to the ignition, and that will create the spark. And it has a vacuum tube here that looks like it works that, so maybe it advances it. Okay, feel good about that. It's definitely some major progress today to have the clutch plates all put back in. And all I did when I put each plate on was I just drizzled oil on top of the plate, put the next plate on, and I did another layer of oil, and that'll be good enough for this. I kind of wish I had the time to rebuild the whole motor, but that really was never my intention to do anything quite like that. Just not quite set up to do that right now. And when I bought these project bikes, well, they were advertised as parts bikes, and I had no idea it was going to get into this much work, but it's just part of the journey with this, and I appreciate you guys being here. I know sometimes maybe these videos are a little boring, trying to just stay motivated. I'm very excited to get this far with this. I'm gonna get all the bolts in this tonight and get the clutch cover. I've got that over here. That's right here. So I got the clutch cover there, and the bolts for that, and I'll get that put on there, and a little bit more cleaning on certain areas of the motor as much as I can, and we are almost ready, once that's buttoned back up, to attempt to put that motor in that. That will be a huge victory. I think if I can do that, I will be jumping for joy, because that will be a monumental leap forward. This entire engine out of that, and then the engine out of that, and then the engine put in that is really, with this entire process here, which has just been very laborious. And then flipping this engine upside down and trying to maneuver it so that I could work on it has been very difficult. It's been quite the challenge for me. But I'm okay with it. You know, that's part of this process, and that's why I'm trying to just move forward. And once that's in the frame, though, things I think are really going to start coming together, because I'll be able to bolt the exhaust back up, and I'll be able to put the carburetor manifold on there, and then I still haven't decided what in the world to do with that gas tank yet. That's on my mind. I'm thinking about it. I may use, what I might do, I want to clean it. That one's going to have to stay in the bike, because these tanks they only come out the rear of the bikes, and I may do that at some point. I'm not sure. Still going back and forth in my mind. I might get like an exterior tank and put it up on the saddlebag for the moment, and just plumb in some fuel temporary so I can just start the bike and get the engine running and get things dialed in and make sure everything's going to work good with the motor before tackling that issue. It's just a little too much for me to mess with right now. I just got so much in the way. I got this other parts bike in the way. I don't think there's really anything else that I need off it, and it's kind of just sitting here for now in case that there is. What I would like to do is round up all the other loose parts that I don't need pretty soon here, and get this bike out of my way, and just clear up the space here is what I want to do, so that I can really start focusing heavily on the white bike here. And the old engine, see, that came out is sitting over here with all those parts. There may be things there that I need for all of this to go back together. But that's pretty much got to go someplace else. I need to get this out of my way. I'm going to save all that. I mean, there's tons of good stuff here. I think it would be interesting to, at a future time, rebuild that motor. I just got to get things here situated a little better before I get into doing something like that. But I mean, that could be a good rebuildable core. I'm going to get this fuel pump off of here. I'm going to get that cleaned up, and I'm really hoping it works. I don't know. I'm going to just remove all this fuel line from the fuel tank here and get rid of this fuel filter. I know that's no good. And still brainstorming on exactly how I want to attempt to clean that tank. I've been so happy with that degreaser. Gosh, I just want to actually try some of that in this tank and fill it up and just let it soak and sit. And I might do that. There's some kind of sending unit here. I think that's strictly for the gas gauge. I'm going to probably pull that out, and then I'll have more access, I think, to the tank. And I'll probably mix up a gallon or two of that degreaser that I used for the parts and pour it in there, and let it sit in there for a few days and loosen some of that stuff up. And then maybe I can also use my pressure washer in the cap, try to blast down in the tank. And then what I can do with that, since I can't have the tank out to just pour it out, is probably pump it out into a jug and see how that goes. I might try to do something like that to clean that tank. I just have to get that as clean as I possibly can. But I may get the bike running with an auxiliary tank, because my main focus is on the engine for now and getting that back in this frame. I want to get that in this frame. I want everything bolted up and things plugged in and the radiator reinstalled, and I feel really good about that. I think that's really going to happen here probably in the next few times I have a chance to work on it. So coming up on 11 minutes. I thank you all so much for all of the exciting comments and people. You know, it means a lot during these types of things to stay motivated and to just want to continue. And so, that being said, I appreciate you all. Hope you have a good evening. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.